The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey, everybody, this is the Tax Lady, and this is our, we think hour to talk taxes. We don't know, because if the swearing in or the voting for justice, we presume Justice Kavanaugh comes in at 3:30, we may be cut short, but we're going to get in as much as we can. And I'm joined in studio again with Tiffany Fabian. Hey, Tiff.
Hey there, Esther. How are you doing?
I'm great. And Christopher Fabian.
Hello, Esther.
All right, well, let's do what we can here before we get off. We might be kicked off here for a good cause. But, you know, the other day we heard that on WBEN, Sandy Beach had said, is the $2 million that was raised through the GoFundMe page that was set up for Dr. Ford, is it taxable? And he was mentioning, you know, maybe we would know. Is it taxable?
No, it's a gift.
It's a gift.
So tax-free,
So
not
anybody
deductible
wants
to the people
set up
giving.
a GoFundMe page for somebody. It's not deductible to the person giving
what I
it
was gonna say.
because it's not a 501c3, but it's not taxable to the recipient. So if Dr. Ford gets all that money from the GoFundMe page, even though she might feel like she did get her just due, but maybe she didn't. Maybe she thinks that people are casting aspersions on her. She at least has $2 million to sleep with to make her feel a little better.
Right. And it may grow.
And it may grow. That's exactly right. So some of the things, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone. We want to talk to you about any tax issue, but let's talk about some of the new things that are happening. We have our tax school starting in a couple weeks, right?
No, it starts this week, Thursday, coming up.
Mamma mia. That's
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
But there's still room.
There is still room. Several locations. It's in Amherst. It's in Lockport, West Seneca, and we teach you taxes from A to Z. It's a great opportunity to learn, you know, the old
so
law
they
and the
should
tax
register
reform.
online, right?
Yep, you can register online at egtax.com, or you can call 632-7886, and we'll get you registered
On
right
Monday.
away.
Right.
Yep.
And then this next Saturday, we have our What's the Buzz seminar coming up.
Right. That's going to be held at the WBBZ studio in the Eastern Hills Mall. We're going to be there talking personal taxes and business tax. Tim Eliason, our healthcare expert from EG Health Connect, will be there talking about health insurance for people of all ages. We have Mike Hayfleck, who's going to talk Social Security, who was just here on the radio. We are going to have Jeff Boron talking college planning. Jeffrey Katz, estate planning. Dennis Kitchen talking bankruptcy. Judy Jack Lewis talking real estate. And we also have Ryan Ferraro talking insurance.
And Dennis Kitchen talking bankruptcy.
Right. So we have a wide array of topics.
We really do. And it's so great. It's no charge. We just really want to bless you really with knowledge. Knowledge is so important.
Yeah.
And I mean, what the heck? It's now fall. The Bills don't win, so it's not like you can get all excited about a future game. And it's, you know, and it's a great opportunity to get together. We'll actually give you an opportunity when you when you listen to the presenter. If you want to ask them a question, we have a little room set aside so you can get kind of personal one-on-one attention. So we hope you do register for that, and they can do that again on our website, right?
Yep, you can go to egtax.com, and it says register for the buzz, and it's a great opportunity,
And
lots
it's at
of
the
fun.
Eastern Hills Mall starting next Saturday at what, 9:45?
9:30 is pre-registration. It starts at 10, and also we're doing the radio show from there, so it's a live remote, and so you could ask
You can
questions.
come and ask your questions
Yeah.
on camera,
Right, on air.
On camera, on air, right? And then the other thing, let's talk about extensions. This is the 6th of October. Extensions for doing your personal returns, October the 15th.
Correct. Yep.
Right?
So
So
October 15th coming up soon.
Right? Right. And another thing before we get to our callers is the state of New York. It looks like they're going to allow you. It looks like it hasn't been passed yet, but the thinking is everybody's leaning towards they're going to let you itemize on the state, even though you don't itemize on the federal.
Boy, that
So
makes
if
makes
it's over
sense.
the standard deduction, so that means that you kind of have to keep double sets of books. And the important part is that you want to make sure that you got your head in the game and you don't throw away all your receipts, because if you are limited by that SALT deduction for property taxes, you may not be able to take it on the federal, but you may be able to take it on the state. And so if your itemized deductions come under $24,000 on the federal and you're going to file a standard deduction, well, it used to be the state would say, what you do on the federal you have to do on the state, but it looks like they're going to uncouple. And that would mean that you'd be able to take your itemized deductions on New York State.
Right.
Yeah, which is so important because in New York State we pay a lot of property taxes, and it sure
We
gives
do.
you a lot of
We
leg
do.
up of the new tax reform. Yes.
True. Okay, let's go to the phones. I think we have, who's been waiting the
Dave.
longest? Dave. Hey, Dave, how can we help you, sir?
How you doing? I have a question for our gambling, winning and losses question. My wife likes to gamble, and sometimes she wins, sometimes she loses. The question is losses, are they offset against winnings, or do you have to deduct losses on itemized deduction at Schedule A?
Okay, you do have to deduct them on the Schedule A, but it's not limited by 2%.
Okay.
So let's say she won $20,000 at the casino and she had $20,000 in losses. Then the $20,000 gets listed on line 21, and the $20,000 in losses that she has is listed as an itemized deduction. But Chris and Tiff, is it fair? Is she getting all her bang for her buck?
No.
Not at all.
No, I mean, I just had someone earlier this week send in a letter, and she didn't claim $5,000 worth of her winnings, and she had all the losses, but it impacted her taxability of her Social Security.
And then this year,
Frank's
too,
saying
with
we got to take a break.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Okay, we'll be right back. I'm Esther Galicia,
Hold on,
tax lady.
Dave.
Hey, it's pretty exciting to hear about Justice. We are hoping Justice Kavanaugh to be voted on here shortly. So we're just excited that we're part of it right here on WBEN. I'm Esther Galicia, the tax lady. We're talking taxes. I mean, let's face it, that's what all the politicians talk about when they're not talking about whether you, as a teenager, threw ice at somebody and things of that nature. But anyway, I wanted to talk also about some of the other things that we discovered this week. There's going to be over 450 tax form changes this year, and over 140 information technology changes. And like we talked about before, there is the short forms being replaced by the postcard, but unfortunately it's like a car without gas. Unless you attach 6 other forms to it, it won't work. So many of you will get the postcard and have to add all these other forms to it. So those are some of the other things. All right, we have a text here,
Yep,
right?
we do. It says, Esther, help. I've been disabled and been receiving disability benefits since 2011. I've got student loans breathing down my neck weekly. What do I do? Thanks,
Okay,
Mark.
well, the truth is, if you're disabled, what I'd suggest you do is talk to Dennis Kitchen. He's one of our sponsors, and he's a wonderful attorney. And he's been successful, if you're disabled, to have that student loan
Generally,
forgiven.
if they're government loans, like federal Sally Mae or
But
Fed
I would
loans.
suggest that him call.
Yeah.
Because if these are the right kind of loans,
Right.
I've seen them be forgiven.
Yeah.
So you guys know Dennis's phone number?
631-5661.
631-5661. So, and tell Dennis, and I have seen myself that he's had several of our clients that we sent to him, and he's had the student loans waived. This is what's
you're
so
disabled
important. When
and
you're
the government.
engaging in student loans, when you're a young person, you never think about what's going to happen after the fact. Student loans are like deadly because they stay with you forever and ever and ever, accumulating interest.
Yep.
And they really are deadly. It's like poison. Don't go out and commit yourself to a student loan if it isn't absolutely necessary, because one day you're going to have a wife and kids and you're going to have a mortgage payment. You're going to say, oh my God, I have to pay those student loans. If you don't make them in the first place because maybe you don't need to live in the dorm, maybe you don't have to go to that expensive college, maybe the only time you want to go to that expensive college is for when you're working on your graduate degree. But I will tell you, student loans are deadly.
Yeah, and also people with student loans, when they have to litigate and take you to court or hire a lawyer, they lop those charges onto your student loan, so they become astronomical and larger by the moment.
Yep, absolutely. All right, who else we got waiting here?
We have Bob on a cell phone.
Hey, Bob, how can we help you?
Somehow we
got
lost-
John,
Bob thought
though.
because we went to Washington.
We got John, though.
But hey, John, how can we help you, sir?
Yes, I was told that I took Social Security at 62, and that when I reach 65, if I give back all that they gave me, I could start receiving it at the level that I would have gotten it at 65.
Okay, well, that would be something that you should talk to Mike Hayflick about and the financial guys, because they are Social Security claiming strategists. All I can tell you is that the truth is, if you start collecting at 62 versus waiting, we don't know how long you're going to live, so you're giving up thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in income to forestall taking it later, and it takes about 18 years to break even. So when you're like 80, you can have a big party, but
My question, I
yeah.
was told that I could give back what I gave them.
I understand what you said. I don't know if you can do that, quite frankly. So
Okay.
what I would do is call Mike Hayflick, and he'll give you his expertise, because that's
What do you think?
That's
Yeah,
what his.
Yeah, I don't know that either. His number is 633-1515.
Thank you.
Okay, good enough. Yeah, here's the thing with Social Security. It is true that there are ways to get more Social Security if you delay receiving payment. I was listening to the show just before we got on, and I was listening to Mike say that to the lady that had called about that she was sick and her husband were sick, but they were thinking of waiting to collect. That's kind of like not a good sign, because if you should pass away, it stops. So if you didn't take it and then you only collect for a couple months, and God forbid you have an early death, well, then you actually really have shot yourself in the foot. So when you're giving up your Social Security, remember, if you're giving up $24,000, let's say, per year in Social Security, over a 5-year period, that's over $100,000 that you gave up. Well, then you have to make up enough money in that extra money they're giving you to come to breaking even, and that's usually 15 to 18 years. So that you have to understand that you actually don't break even until you get to that place, and they don't give you the extra money if you should die an early death. So that's what you have to weigh.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on your cell phone. And we have, is it Bree?
Bree.
Bree. I'm sorry. Hey,
I think Bree.
That's what.
How can we help you?
Hello.
Bree.
Hello.
Hi. How can we help you?
Hi. It's actually Bright.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking you were a kind of cheese, Bree.
Jay typed in BRYEE.
Hey, how are you? How can we help you?
I was supposed to get a refund from New York State on my personal taxes, and I got a letter shortly, probably sometime early May, saying that they needed a copy of my W-2 just
Sure.
to verify or whatever. So I sent them a copy. And then I got another letter back saying the same thing, saying that they had received it and they needed another copy. But I missed and I was wondering, who do I call to find
All right, so this is what this happens a lot. This is the state's way of holding up your refund. They're saying that they're doing an individual audit to make sure that the information is correct. It frustrates the bejeebers out of me because I know that they got all those quarterly forms. But what you need to do is I suggest you call them.
Actually,
on Monday,
if he does
and actually you can call through us, right, Tiffany?
Yep. If he does a conference call and calls me, there's a New York State practitioner line,
And then we can
and it's
fax
faster.
over the copy again. I had a client that Tiff and Chris called on his behalf 2 weeks ago, and he just got his money on Friday. So, and they go, oh, well, gee, we didn't know you sent it in. We say, well, we have the document number that we sent to you. Oh, well, can you send it again? And again and again. But if you get on them, if you call Tiff, there's no charge. We'll be very happy to help
Do
you.
a
And our phone number
conference
is
call.
632-7886.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
I guess-
unfortunately, he's like probably about 10,000 other people in that same boat.
and it's a shame because many people then just give up,
Right.
and they just won't follow up.
Want the text
yes.
bill? The text message?
Yeah,
You want the
go on.
text? It
Go
says,
on.
Esther, I work as a 1099. I claim mileage. Is there an online resource that offers a list of other qualified deductions other than mileage for the 1099
Well,
person?
basically, anything that's ordinary necessary for you to produce your income is going to be deductible. That would be the guideline. So so when
Cell
you're on a
phone.
1099, it means you're not an employee. It means you're self-employed. And so all of if you have an office in your home and you had to buy paper and you had to pay for your own cell phone and you had to do continuing education, you had licensure, maybe you had to buy gifts under $25 to help facilitate sales. Of course, we know if we entertain this year, it's not deductible. However, this week they did say that meals and entertainment, though, are still deductible
For employers.
You can't entertain, but you can take somebody out to lunch now, and it's half deductible.
Yep.
Because at the beginning of the year they said that wasn't even deductible, and they're coming out with these new regs. So basically, if you spend money to make money and it's ordinary and necessary in your position, it's going to be deductible.
I
And-
know. Oh, sorry, Chris. There's a lot of Uber drivers. If they buy water or refreshments for their clientele, you can deduct that. What were you going to say,
I was
Chris?
going to say, right on our website, we have a new organizer that you can put everything, will show some of the expenses and other things too that might be a big help for you as well.
Right?
Yeah,
Yep.
and then also that person who asked about the 1099, call the office during the week. We can specialize it to your business, and we can, just
Right,
sort of
because I'm
think
just
real
giving
estate
I don't know what the self-employment
is.
I mean, but like, for instance, if you're a doctor, then there would be going to continuing education, there would be licensure, special insurance, all of that kind of, uniforms, da-da-da-da-da.
Whereas if
and-
you're a
and,
lumberjack, it's something
all the
different.
stuff that you buy for patients would all be deductible. So it all depends on what you're doing. And you're right, if you're an over-the-road trucker, then there's the 18-wheeler. And especially this year with the new pass-through, which we're just going to start talking about here. The pass-through is a 20% deduction that you get after all of your deductions, which further reduces your taxable income based upon your net profits. So many people in the past were taking accelerated depreciation so that they could get their net profit down lower, right? Now, with the pass-through, you might want to put a pencil to that to say, gee, maybe it's better that I don't do the accelerated depreciation because I kind of get this
Right,
gift
we gotta
from the
take
federal
a break
government.
for
And
the
I know
news.
we got to go. I'm Esther Gillius, the tax lady. We'll see you on the other side, and we're going to listen to ABC. That's what's so cool about live radio. You never really know what's happening. And right now, I guess we're waiting for the Senate to convene, and so we're kind of waiting for the vote to start.
Yeah,
so
right
in the
n-
meantime, you got me.
Yep, right now Senator Schumer's talking and talking and talking and talking and
Okay,
talking.
well, and I could do without that. But anyway, All right, but we're going to keep talking taxes. 8030930, 8030930, star 930 and a cell phone. I want to tell you something that you should not do this year because of the SALT deduction is many people that had hurried to make their New York State estimate before the end of the fourth quarter, before December 31st, in order for them to get the extra deduction on their itemized deduction. This year, you might want to double check that to make sure, because if you're going to get no benefit, why would you send the money into New York State ahead of time? And that's not going to be deduction on New York State anyway, even if the state allows you to itemize. So that fourth quarter estimate, you might want to not pay into New York State.
Yeah, and then, we just keep peeling back the layers of the onion. I had a client the other day call in, and she had a loss on her Roth IRA, and you used to take that loss on the bottom of the Schedule A, and no longer can you take that losses on Roth IRAs. And
That's
so we're
right.
just peeling back the layers.
I have to believe that somebody's going to initiate a lawsuit, and maybe before 3 years is up, maybe we're going to have people file claims on some of these things because the miscellaneous itemized deductions, it doesn't make any sense. If you had put money into a Roth, let's say $100,000 into a Roth that was all after-tax dollars, and when you cash it in, you get $80,000. You've lost $20,000. So and now it won't be deductible because of the miscellaneous itemized deduction. Okay, starting 2019, alimony payments on a new divorce will not be deductible if you're paying it, and it won't be taxable to the recipient. So if you're somebody that's paying alimony, you might want to get that divorce done in 2018 if you want to deduct it.
Yep. Yeah, I had a caller the other day. Well, right now I'm separated and I have to pay tax on my alimony or on my maintenance. What happens if I get a divorce? And I said, well, as long as the divorce decree states that he still has to pay you, and it's after December 31st, so starting January 1st, then it's not income to you.
Right.
And so she's like,
if you're somebody collecting alimony or separate maintenance and your divorce is not final, you want to wait. But if you're somebody paying it, you want to get it done now.
Yep.
Right? Because once 2019 comes in, alimony and separate maintenance will no longer be deductible to the payer and taxable to the recipient. So everything going through for 2018 would still be taxable to the recipient and deductible to the payer. So you want to make sure that you get that divorce decree done if you're somebody paying alimony, right? Mm-hmm. Let's see, and then yes, and you want to make sure. The other thing is, when you're in the middle of a divorce, make sure you negotiate who gets to claim the kids, because kids under the age of 17 now are worth $2,000.
Right.
Even if they don't live with you. So if you're paying a bunch of child support and you don't think that it's important to claim the kid on your tax return, it's $2,000 real dollars. So if you've got 3 kids under the age of 17, then that's $6,000 that you've just shot yourself in the foot. So be very careful and get that 8332 signed by your soon-to-be ex-spouse.
I have clients who gave away their rights to claim the kids, and now they're in this hurt right now. They're experiencing
and then they'd have to go back to court and pay the attorneys and everything. Okay, let's go back to the phones. And we talk to our friend Larry. Hey, Larry, how y'all doing?
Sorry, Miss Esther, I tell you, dear, a day without hearing my EG tax team is like a day without sunshine.
Oh, you're so sweet. How's everything going?
Everything is blessed. Thank you, Esther. Thank you. Chris, I apologize for playing telephone tag with you, but I want to get with you. I understand my Gina sent you my estimated earnings.
Yep.
And I want to ask you, so how should I handle my estimated taxes for the state and for the feds?
Well, the feds, you don't have any, Larry. It's just the lovely state of Georgia that you're going to owe some money to. So I can send you out an estimated form for them.
Right. So I think we have to wrap it up here, Larry, because I think we're going back to ABC
in a few,
waiting for the confirmation of Kavanaugh.
But
Larry,
call me on Monday, Larry.
I will. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you. And in the meantime, if
we got a few minutes
for ABC, pardon me, Tiffany.
I said we got a few minutes. We could maybe squeeze in John.
Okay, why don't we get John here quick? Hey, John. Mr. John,
Hey,
what can we help you with, sir, quickly?
hey, if I pay my daughter's school tax and town tax, can I claim that as a deduction on my...
In order for it to be deductible, it has to be your bill paid with your money. So if it's her house in her name, paid with your money, it's not going to be deductible to you. So the easiest thing to do is put yourself on the deed, and if that were the case, then it'll be deductible to you because then it is your responsibility to pay it.
That's the only way. What if
That's the
I
only
give
way.
money
Yeah.
to pay?
Pardon me?
What if I give her the money to pay?
Well, then she gets to deduct it.
No, I can't.
Nope, not unless you're on the deed.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Can we get time for Pete?
Yeah.
Hey, Pete, how can we help you, sir?
Hey, hi, Esther. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I have a question about my RMD.
Yep.
I heard you mention last week that I could take some of the RMD and have that go directly to a charity.
That's right. And then it fulfills your RMD, and it's not taxable to you.
Okay. Now, the other part of that is, if I do that, can I also deduct that as a charitable?
Nope. But no, you can't deduct it, but it's not taxable, which means it doesn't make your Social Security more taxable. And we have a newsletter this month that we just did last week. If you're a client of ours, we send it to you. If you're not a client of ours, call Tiffany at the office on Monday and we'll send it out to you. That gives a complete explanation on that deductible RMD to charity to fulfill your RMD, and it'll show you exactly how much you save. So you can call the office at 632-7886. Okay. Hey, we're gonna go. Hopefully, we're gonna go to ABC News. We're gonna listen to the confirmation of
Kavanaugh.
Judge Kavanaugh. I'm Esther Gullies, the tax lady. We'll talk to you later.